Welcome to highlights of stage 12 of La Vuelta A Espana, starting in Laredo, destination Los Corrales de Huelna. All smiles at the start, pensive perhaps. It's going to be an action-packed day. Signing autographs, Jonas Vingegaard at the start line, and all of our jersey wearers in the neutral zone looking good. Mads Pedersen with eyes on more points. There's the profile of the stage, 144.9 kilometres, 2 categorised climbs along the way. The Puerto de Alisas and the Colada de Brenes. The Colada de Brenes being the last of the climbs, topping out with 22.9 kilometres to go. It was to be fast, furious and action-packed, as you would expect. A possible chance for the breakaway, and in the opening kilometres it was the man in green, the irrepressible Mads Pedersen, who went on the offensive with the likes of Stefan Kung, Magnus Sheffield also there. Very high average speeds and no breakaway leading in to the lower slopes of the opening climb of the day, the Puerto de Alisas. Juan Ayuso already a stage winner in this race. No GC hopes, but certainly eyeing another stage win. Lit up the climb on the lower slopes and drew the sting from a lot of other riders interested in infiltrating this breakaway. There was a slight coming together with 1,300 metres to go. Only 2 riders actually fawning, but that actually meant that Movistar took the advantage over the top. Also Marc Soler taking maximum points atop the climb, just ahead of Javier Romo. Keeping control and a little bit of order behind, though, was Team Visma Leasebike, looking after the interests of the man in red, Jonas Vingegaard. That also put a man in the breakaway, Victor Campenaerts, as Jasper Philipsen had a relatively steady day. There were lots of riders up the front. A little counter-attack that eventually joined the front group containing Mads Pedersen meant we had 52 riders out in front. Santiago Buitrago also there in the mix as well for Bahrain. And this was the moment that the junction was made. The gap at this point to the peloton behind, with Maury van Sevenen just at the back, was 2 minutes. Then we had a big attack from Ivan Garcia Cortina. Movistar with the luxury position of actually having 5 men in the break. He sought an early bid. Meanwhile, just behind, it was Victor Campenaerts having a conversation with Bruno Amirai, who was in fact the best placed rider in that group. Eventually, with 50 k's to go, the solo effort from Garcia Cortina was caught, and it was several attacks that went clear. His teammate, in fact, Romo, started to attack, flanked immediately by the man in green, eyeing the intermediate sprint at 41 k's to go, Mads Pedersen. And it was indeed the Great Dane that took maximum points at the sprint point. In fact, he continued his effort in an effort to try and go clear too. So mission accomplished, part 1 for Mads Pedersen. 20 points in the bag, just ahead of Aparicio and Christian there. So extending his lead in the points over Ethan Vernon, now 155 points to the good. The gap to the peloton now, a distant 5 minutes. On the approach to the final climb of the day, it was 5 riders that went clear. Magnus Sheffield of Ineos, Finlay Pickering of Bahrain, Michael Hessman was there of Movistar, James Shaw of EF, also joining them Victor Gernlek of Arkea and Brieuc Roland of FDJ on the steep, thin, lower slopes of the climb. Meanwhile, the pace-making was being set behind by irrepressible Marc Soler. Mads Pedersen at this point starting to struggle. James Shaw looking good, the Brit out in front with fellow Brit Finlay Pickering of Bahrain. But this was the moment that the front of the race changed. Marc Soler perfectly setting up his teammate Juan Ayuso, but with him for company was Javier Romo looking good. And also up there, holding on from the earlier move, was Brieuc Roland. Taking maximum points over the top was Javier Romo. At this point they had a 37-second advantage over the chaser, and the peloton now a distant 5 minutes and 47 seconds behind as they commenced the descent. The original break was fractured all over the place. Marc Soler on policing duties at the back of this counter-attack, Roland on his own, and incredibly Mads Pedersen, from being distanced on the climb, went straight over the top and actually joined the second group on the road. Meanwhile, there was a little bit of a lack of cohesion behind. Juan Ayuso playing a real tactical game with Javier Romo. Victor Campenaerts also went clear, but coming into the final kilometre, it was Ayuso versus Romo.
It is Javier Romo who goes, Javier Romo who kicks, but Juan Ayuso explodes here to the front. Juan Ayuso has the beating of Javier Romo. Resistance cracked already. And he's done it again.
Congratulations all round for Juan Ayuso, receiving a hug there from Marc Soler, who helped set him up. 5 wins for the team, but a fine 3rd place for Björk Roland of FDJ, 4th there to Victor Campenaerts of Visma Leasebike, and another performance of excellent proportions from Mads Pedersen, home there in 5th place. Meanwhile, the Bees led home the man in the red jersey, Jonas Vingegaard, comfortable and looking calm ahead of a big day on stage 13. Ben Tulit and Sepp Kuss and Matteo Jorgensen ensuring he lives to fight another day in the red jersey along with all of the main GC contenders. So delight all round, but frustration for Javier Romo. 5 men in the move for Movistar, but they could do nothing about an absolutely flying Juan Ayuso, who finished it off, well, with the precision of an assassin. There's the win. Ayuso ahead of Romo. Then we have Roland, Campenaerts, Pedersen, Dens, Howson, Buitrago, Balocchi and Castrillo.
Did you know that you would be better than Javier Romo for the sprint?
Yeah, but after such a hard day, you don't know, and I have to play my cards. I had to put him also a bit nervous and play the final case, saying that I already won the stage and he had to put more if he wanted to arrive. It's not something I really enjoy to play a bit like, not cooperating fully, but sometimes you have to play smart, and that's what I did in the final, and this read.
Playing tactical hands certainly reaped dividends, but Jonas Vingegaard still ahead of the GC rankings. Nothing's changed there. Almeida in 2nd and Pidcock in 3rd. Pellizzari in the best young riders there, rounding out the top 10. So all smiles for the Dane. A relatively calm day for him, but a massive day on stage 13. Bit of a change in the classification for Mads Pedersen. He basically extended his lead over Ethan Vernon and now enjoys a distinct advantage. A big smile around, not just maximum points on the intermediate sprint, but 5th on the stage. He's got to be very happy with that. No change in the King of the Mountains jersey. That's still on the shoulders of Jay Vine, but Juan Ayuso has closed the gap ever so slightly. So big smiles there. Big job for this man to do as well, looking after Joao Almeida on stage 13. Let's have a look ahead to what will be a pivotal stage, that is for sure. It's a long one as well, 202 kilometres from Cabezon de la Salle to the mighty Langliru. And there's the profile, a flat first half and then the best part of 4,000 metres packed in to the final 60 kilometres. Do not miss it.